Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just a point of clarification. I was engaged elsewhere, and I feared I would be late. That's why I had delegated Honorable Bigo Kanya to read in case it starts just before I came. But since I'm here, I'm ready. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, in the last 2 weeks, honorable members raised a couple of insecurity issues. These issues ranged from the general security situation to how the police are addressing the festive season to specific areas of concern, including the following: fire outbreaks, gun violence, especially in Rukungiri and Arua districts, theft of livestock in Karamoja and Nakaseke districts. These were the issues that were raised in the past sittings of this August House. The role of the police in land evictions was also raised, as well as the issue of pastoralists in West Nile and stopping concerts to be held by Honorable Chagulanyi Robert Sentamu. Honorable Speaker and members, the security situation in the country is generally calm. Our security agencies are jointly doing a good job keeping us safe and secure day and night. The insecurity that was beginning to come up with criminals attacking local and foreign investors has been sorted out, and this crime is under control. We were able to achieve this through setting up thorough systems of effective policing of these areas and prosecution of offenders caught in the crime. Equally, we are fully prepared to secure the festive season through strategic deployments, extra vigilance, and community mobilization. By these initiatives, we guarantee that Ugandans will have peaceful celebrations with minimal crime incidents. We call upon all members to add their voices to ours in mobilizing their communities, in appreciating that security of any nation starts with them at individual level. Honorable members, your voices in this respect are very pertinent and count indeed. The Inspector General of Police on Tuesday, December 18th, gave a detailed message of assurance of how prepared the police are in securing the country this festive season. The police deserve our unwavering support as they sacrifice a lot in ensuring that we are safe and secure in our various environments. Let me now turn to speak on the role of police in the enforcement of court orders. Honorable Speaker and members, the role of the police in the enforcement of court orders in land evictions is purely to support the process, which is directly handled by the judiciary, particularly the court bailiffs. The police do not have to participate in the act of enforcing court orders, and in as far as I am aware, that is generally the case. What is pertinent here is that the police do not examine the merits and demerits of this matter, and therefore, some of the incidents that we are talking about. The question of the merits and demerits of these evictions is a matter for the judiciary. Originally, court bailiffs would simply secure orders of court and execute these orders without checks. Currently, the police department in charge of land protection first confirms the authenticity of the court orders before it is cleared for execution and enforcement. By this initiative, we have been able to detect and deter unlawful actions by some unscrupulous people trading as either court officials or powerful business personalities. The matter of Ferere Nakanyonyi, popularly called as Lusanja, had its own flaws, which cannot be blamed entirely on the police. The judiciary is handling it, and that is the best I can share with you, members, as of now. However, if there is anyone culpable for having done anything that contravenes the law and the procedures therein, we are open to an inquiry, and we shall welcome the results of that inquiry. The question of livestock in Karamoja and Nakaseke districts. Right Honorable Speaker and members, during the festive season, theft of livestock and general crime tend to increase in the districts with livestock farmers throughout the country, but not limited to the two districts I have just mentioned. However, the police anti-stock theft units are deployed in many of these areas to avert stock thefts. The unit closely works with the territorial police to address the criminality related to livestock thefts. It is important to note that cattle thefts involve syndicates of thieves and local agents often known by the communities where these acts take place. Such agents and thieves should be reported to the authorities for preventive action. Gun violence. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the police is addressing the problem of gun violence through proactive and long-term measures of marking and fingerprinting all guns, both within police, other security agencies, as well as with individuals who have acquired these guns officially. In Arua, it will be recalled that the gun was stolen from an SPC, and the next day, someone was murdered at one of the petrol stations in Arua. The suspicion was that it is the same gun that had been stolen that was used in the murder. The good news, however, is that on the 19th of December, this gun was recovered through cooperation between the police and the community. Police and sister agencies are doing all it takes to secure the country. Fire outbreaks. I have attached a list of fire outbreaks across the country in the last 12 months and the actions that have been taken by police in relation to these fire outbreaks. As indicated in this attachment, only 9 cases of the fire outbreaks have been identified as arson, and these are being handled as criminal cases. However, it is important to note that the police are very incapacitated in handling fire outbreaks because of lack of adequate firefighting equipment. At the bottom of page 4 of my statement, I've indicated the equipment available in the various areas in the country as opposed to what is required to handle this problem. It is important to note that the Fire Directorate operates 44 stations throughout the country. We need additional 40 fire trucks as a minimum to cover the whole country so as to be able to use our Department 599, which is trained to handle these problems. I would like now to turn to the case of Honorable Chagulanyi Robert Sentamu, and the music concerts. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the Uganda Police is mandated by law to protect life and property, prevent and detect crime, and maintain law and order among other functions. In view of the above, coupled with the festive season and end-of-year celebrations, which are characterized by partying and merrymaking, attracting gatherings that could be a target for crime and calamities, the force came up with guidelines to ensure that law and order to forestall acts of criminality, including but not limited to terrorism, mass murder, possible calamities, sexual assault, which could occur in these circumstances of these performances and concerts. So we gave guidelines in order to prevent these acts. These guidelines are for all to adhere to for the good of the organizers as well as the revelers. All people, of course. What else? Honorable members, it's not wise to look at economic benefits alone during this contact without taking care of public security and safety. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the Uganda Police Force shared the guidelines I have mentioned with the public, which were popularized through all media platforms. Secondly, these same guidelines were shared with Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu on December 5th, 2018. They were thoroughly discussed. He promised to comply and adhere to these guidelines. The other promoters of concerts were equally brought on board in view of the same for purposes of effective policing. Honorable members, it's on record that many of the promoters have sought security to police their concerts. For those that write to the police and comply with the guidelines, security is availed. A case in point is the Busabala Chengera concert organized by Emma Promotions, and Honorable Kyagulanyi performed during that concert. However, those that do not comply with the guidelines, thereby compromising health, safety, and security of everyone, are further advised on the importance of public security and safety. Government shall not simply look on and abdicate its duties of protecting people and their property. I would like now to draw your attention to a music concert organized in Jinja on Saturday, December 15. The promoters and organizers had several planning meetings with the security to secure the event. The routes for this event were properly planned and secured to regulate traffic flow. Stewards were put in place, and police officers were deployed at the venue and along the roads. Regrettably, that evening, Honorable Kyagulanyi, who was not on the list of performers, acted contrary to the set guidelines, flouting traffic laws, held a procession along Iganga Road in Jinja, thereby disrupting traffic flow and causing disorder and disharmony. The police intervened and restored law and order, and thereafter the concert went on peacefully. Lastly, I appeal to you all colleagues to join hands with the security agencies to secure the country, because security is not only preserved by security agencies, it is a known fact that security begins with you, the individual. I wish to take this opportunity, honorable members, to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2019. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, thank you for listening to me. Just to confirm one of the facts, a gentleman by the name of Bwanika Dennis, who was the organizer of the concert in Jinja, has written a statement to say Honorable Kyagulanyi was not on the list of the people to perform in that concert. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. As I indicated earlier, I had a delegation today of the performers, and among the things they raised was the cost of planning and then being stretched at the end. It involves hiring venues, it involves employing people who are cooking food to serve, who invest money in cooking so that thousands are going to eat. It involves additional musicians, the smaller people who come to also to earn money there. It involves the people who sell beer, Fanta. So according to them, one stoppage affects thousands of people. So they asked me to tell you that they need to, that issue needs to be addressed, that they need to be assisted to carry out their activities. The second matter they raised is that the conditions they are given to comply earlier are hard. For instance, they showed me a letter where they are told to indicate expected number of revelers in the event. Expected number. I don't know how you can estimate the expected number. Number two, measures that you have put in place for crowd control. 3, proposed traffic route, control, and measures to ensure the safety of motor vehicles of the revelers. By the people? The measures, wait. 4, the measures and resources available for emergency response, including medical provision, fire and evacuation in case need arises, security measures and resources available, e.g. walkthroughs that one accept, hand probes, sniffer dogs, measures put in place for crowd control that's toward proportionate to the number of revelers of the event. Honourable Minister, I don't know whether an ordinary person can actually, a small ordinary person can meet those conditions. And this was written by one of your officers, Asman Mujenyi, for Inspector General of Police. So they are saying these are very hard conditions for a small investor to be able to fulfill before they can be allowed to undertake the activity. So I was delivering a message.
Procedure,
Muyanja. Then
Procedure, Madam Speaker. Procedure, Madam Speaker.
Honourable Mwiru, you are the shadow.
Okay, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise on a point of procedure. The Minister referred to a document as having been written to him by one of the organizers, and I saw him putting it in his court. I was only wondering, Madam, whether it's not procedurally right that that document is laid on table so that we can have access to and look at its authenticity, because it has implications. Because and as far as I'm concerned, Madam Speaker, I represent the area where the show was taking place. Honorable Chagwe had informed me at the contract, and the Minister is on the floor with a document which has not laid on table, saying that actually Honorable Kyagulanyi was gate crashing at a function. So whether it's not that he lays the document, so that at an opportune time we can compare the document he has remained with the statements he has actually uttered on the floor of Parliament.
Honourable Minister, since you have mentioned the document, please read the date, author, the subject, and then lay it on the table.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I'd like to take this opportunity to lay on table a statement made by one, Bwanika Dennis, who was one of the organizers of the function on 15th of December in Ginger.
Mbaju, then Sereko.
You started with me, Right Honorable Speaker.
There is some points of procedure.
Okay.
Let's start there.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I stand here to question the report made by the Minister, specifically in relation to the rights of Honorable Kyagulanyi. Madam Speaker, you are aware, and this House is aware, that last year, on 7th October 2017, I organized a similar concert in Kasese and Kasese municipality. This concert was approved right away from the Inspector General Police then. On the last day towards the concert, having realized and known, even in the letter that I wrote to them, that the main performer was Honorable Bobi Wine Concerts, the concert was stopped at night. And the reason for stopping that concert was for security reasons. The concert was supposed to be held in my constituency, together with Honorable Centenary. I wondered what security reasons Kyagulanyi could cause in my constituency. When I put them to task through you, Madam Speaker, police, even having defended themselves on the floor of Parliament, went ahead and compensated me. It is the same statement I'm seeing the Minister laying on table. The same statement is giving to the country. Why don't you be clear and state the reason? If you are fearing Kyagulanyi, state it openly that the man is too hard for us, and we know. Rather than threatening his businesses. Madam Speaker, the country cannot be led on masquerading systems. The police cannot continue masquerading. If they could stop me, even when it was not Christmas season, if they could stop Kyagulanyi from traveling to Kasese, even when he was not what you are fearing. Proceed, Madam Law.
Honourable Member, you have only 2 minutes. If you are generous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I just would like to inform the Honourable colleague that even when Honourable Kyagulanyi organized a concert in Gulu, it was stopped. And that was about 2-3 weeks ago. If they want to say Christmas season is the reason for stopping. Thank you.
Okay, Honourable Sereko. Sereko, then we go to Mukono. 2 minutes, please.
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, as the guardians of the law, Article 21 of the Constitution commands all of us to respect all rights of people and for them to seek equal protection and enjoy equal protection by the law. There are various shows that have been transpiring. When we heard Honorable Kyagulanyi speak the other time, his only question was, why him and why not others? The guidelines are stringent for him. We know he's practicing politics just like we are doing as an occupation, but he has a profession. Therefore, for every one of us that is here that have their professions, we should be given the opportunity to enjoy practicing them without our rights being infringed upon. In this matter, the police has used the Public Order Management Act and abused it in most cases in order to stifle those that are preparing occasions or events that are not within their favor. The parliamentary imam has recently written to the police and recently written to the Ministry of Defense asking for Muslims to pray, to perform prayers at Kololo Independence Grounds. There is collusion in this matter as well. We've been just addressing a press conference, and they have told us all the dates at Kololo airstrip are booked. Why? Because we want to come up with a protest on how unfairly the Muslim people are treated in this country before the law. In the same faith, this happened to the Chalenga concert where Nambole was played about with deal-darling with the management of Nambole until, due to public demand, he had to switch the venue to Busabala. Notwithstanding, even when he went to Busabala, he was here on record and he said, all events that were scheduled to take place in Busabala have now been cancelled. Why? Because police has communicated to all event organizers that Busabala is a no-go venue. That means this is intentional to deprive him of his rights to perform his economic rights and enjoy his freedoms economically and socially in this country. So it's not all about shows and what transpired in Jinja, but also his business at the beach.
Honorable Senyonga.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and the honorable colleagues. Not repeating what my colleague has said, but I want to add, Right Honorable Speaker, that even if you comply, because I'm an artist, even if you comply with all the requirements. Secondly, when the organizers are given a chance and you give money to the OC in charge, the OC does not even pay the Watoto who are to do the work. At the end of that day, they disorganize the function. They start also allowing their own relatives and friends. So the organizers are always operating on a loss. So let us be very clear. What are the required number of police to guard a performance? Forget about Honorable Bobi Chagulanyi, who is at least of a certain level. But they are, even the juniors also treated unfairly. When they come to a place like Satellite Beach in Mukono, which is no better, they are demanded to pay not less than $1 million for security guards. For police, which should be entirely free, Honorable Minister, because you have said police is here to guard we, the individuals, and our property, so that every Ugandan can enjoy life without any fear or being favored. So our concern, Right Honorable Speaker, goes to the Minister. Really, when are we going, we as artists, to have the freedom? Because recently, Right Honorable Chagulanyi just bypassed my home area, Kisoga, and immediately I started receiving.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
2 minutes.
I want to thank you for the opportunity given to me. Right Honorable Speaker, once you check in our Constitution, Article 212, subsection C, on the functions of police, it says prevent, detect crime. Then D, cooperate with the civilian authority. Right Honorable Speaker, I would love to know at what stage does police reach at a time of detecting and preventing crime? What if there was a function going on and police comes on board and says there is something that is going on? Must you wait until that problem or that danger occurs? I would love to really echo on what Honorable Mbaji talked about on the function that was going on in Kasese when Honorable Chagulanyi was performing, but police came in and stopped the function. Meaning that something happened and the police came in to save the lives of people who are gathering there at that particular point. I would love to really to tell my fellow colleagues, members of parliament, we need life. We must be protected. Police must be also protected because we pay them and these are their functions. We must give them the real rights on how they can be really performed. At that point, Madam Speaker, on the report that was read by our Honourable Minister, Order. It was right. Order, because people's lives had to be protected. Order. Because crime was detected.
Point of order.
Order.
Point of order. Honorable Mbaji.
Madam Speaker, I have been in this parliament for now 2 years. I take time to listen to my colleague members of parliament. I made my point very clear that when the concert was about to begin, the day of the concert was about to begin, at midnight of the day, towards the function, police called me, stopping the function. My colleague member of parliament is saying that Chagulanyi was performing on the concert. Is he in order? Not take attention in the House and to listen to Honorable Member Jackson Mbaju speaking and begin to mislead this Honorable House. Is he in order, Madam Speaker?
Honorable members, you know this subject is very important. It's not about government and Chagulanyi. In the middle are many, many Ugandans, many small people who put their money into these activities. And in relation to Honorable Mbaju, I had to spend time. I summoned the IGP to negotiate over his money. I spent over 4 months talking to General Kaihura, please, pay this money's money. So, balance the boat.
Yes, thank you, Madam. No, I still have my time, please, members. I want to thank you, Madam Speaker, for your good, the way you have ruled. But the information I wanted to give my brother, I wanted to be clarified on this matter. At what point does police detect crime? I wanted to know that particularly, because if you happen to get to know about it, you will be in position now to really protect police. At that very point, maybe police detected crime and they had to stop what? The function that was going on. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Anyakun, we are in a capility. Honorable Anyakun Sozi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and members. Right Honorable Speaker, I wanted to seek from the information that the minister gave us about Karamoja. The government of Uganda decided to disarm the people of Karamoja as a region, which was an advantage for us. But Right Honorable Speaker, the challenge we are having is that the neighboring countries, the South Sudan, the Kenyan Pokots, and the people from Turkana are the ones terrorizing Karamoja sub-region. I was in my constituency over the weekend. As we are seated here, my people are driving their cows to the neighboring districts of Teso. And right now, they are saying the Pokot from the Kenyan side are coming to raid the cows. On this other side, our neighboring districts are also giving pressure to the people of Karamoja not to take their animals for grazing. My question is, what assurance does government have to the people of Karamoja? The cows are the only source of livelihoods that they have in the region. They took away their guns and they promised to protect the people of Karamoja. Right now, we are just on tension. The members of parliament from Karamoja don't know when we go back to the region what is going to happen now that the people on IK, for example, our member of parliament from the IK brought the issue of the killing. Thank you very much.
Now, Sozi, then Amson will go to Honorable Aleper, then Minister, then I come this side.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. On the issue of Honorable Chagulanyi, I want to re-emphasize Article 20 and Article 21, Sub-Article 3. Article 20 reads, fundamental rights and freedom for purposes of this article. Discrimination means to give different treatment to different persons attributable only or mainly to their respective descriptions by sex, ABCD, socio-economic standing, political opinion, or disability. Right Honorable Speaker, as Parliament, it is our responsibility to ensure that country-wide there is fair treatment. We have to respect every person's right to his opinion. any violation in any way to any one of us or any Ugandan, it affects all of us. We must stand upright and firm to protect the rights of individuals. I beg to submit. Thank you.
Honorable Obua, Margaret, then Honorable Chinji. There.
Right Honorable Speaker, the statement touched on gun-related incidences in the country. And as this Parliament is aware, in a Leptong district, a UPDF soldier attached to 3rd Division came and killed 4 members of the same family. He even led a team of police detectives to where the killer gun allegedly was hidden and it was recovered. There are 2 choices to make. Either for the alleged killer to be produced in the High Court of Lira and charged with murder, or the UPDF invokes the UPDF Act and the UPDF soldier appears before the General Court Martial. As people's representative of our Leptong district, we want to appeal to police that is currently investigating this case, that the general feeling of the community of Leptong is that the UPDF court-martial sits in Leptong, charges this soldier, is tried and convicted from where he allegedly committed the offense of murder. People are not in support of him being produced in the High Court. Being a serving UPDF soldier, we want to send a clear message. The people of Leptong are a very peaceful community. You are all aware in 1961, they voted Dr. Apollo Milton Obote, who came to Legico and eventually superintended over the independence of Uganda. We are a very peaceful community. We are the only district that has produced a legitimate field marshal in the history of Uganda. That is Field Marshal Okello. So, our
Honorable Aleper, then Honorable Chinji. Then I come to side.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order.
I want to thank the Minister for this report. Indeed, the thefts that we have in Karamoja are not just within, they are also outside Karamoja from the neighboring country of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, it has been a big problem to recover the animals stolen by the Turkana. We have so many animals in Kenya up to date which have not been recovered. And yet the Minister says there is anti-stock theft unit. And the nearest anti-stock unit is situated in Katakwi. I'm wondering when thefts are reported to the authority, how swift the anti-stock theft unit will respond to these thefts, because it has been a big problem to recover these animals from Kenya. I was wondering whether the Minister has in mind that probably the police would liaise with the UPDF to recover these animals, because in Karamoja, the UPDF is the main force that has always helped us. But with the reinforcement of the police, I think we shall work better. But to say anti-stock theft unit is not available in Karamoja, it is in Katakwi. Thank you.
Then I come here. I'm coming. Then we close.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the youth of Uganda, it's very clear, Madam Speaker, that the majority of them find most of their enjoyment in music. That is where you find the majority of the young people. Not only that, but the majority of the investors, the stakeholders in this industry, the organizers of these shows, the Abitex, the Emas, and so on, are all young people. So it's very clear also that 78% of our population is comprising of the young people. So the subject matter for today is critical, extremely critical, that we are touching the lives of the majority of the people. It's also clear, Madam Speaker, that as of recent, people have found music and concerts as a soft landing for floating their political ideology. So behind that, in actual sense, if we are to be faithful to you as the Speaker of this House, there are always political sentiments behind this music. I just attended one launch in the southern region of Honorable Chagulanyi. It was not really a launch, it was some kind of appearance somewhere. And at the beginning of his show, he just came up, and the area member of parliament in that region was an opposition member of parliament. He stood up and introduced someone that was the incoming member of parliament, and he was agitating for that one. So to me, I encourage him and all people, music lovers, including myself, I'm always in these shows, to avoid extreme political sentiments, because this is the future of our young people. I thank you, madam.
So the case of Honorable Chinji is that focus on the entertainment, don't stray. Wariswa Kambwa, then I come to side.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The matter before us is very critical. All of us, when we come to Parliament, we have our jobs we do behind. Right Honourable Speaker, you are aware outside Parliament, I'm an engineer by profession. And I do practice. Because today, I'm in Parliament, if I leave, I have to go to my engineering job. We have lawyers here, we have teachers, they have schools. And Honorable Chagulanyi is a musician behind there. I want to request the minister concerned, allow Honorable Chagulanyi to perform. The information given by my senior colleague from Kasese, that maybe the ministers are fearing Honorable Chagulanyi. If police you are fearing, for us as NRM, you can't fear Honorable Chagulanyi. For what? Allow him to perform. Because even some of my voters, they love his music. My voters. But they cannot give him a vote. They love him as a musician. So, what I want to say, members, Honorable Chagulanyi, order. We want government to allow you to perform. In fact, when they squeeze you, they make you to be known. Moreover, you cannot be known. So, Honorable Minister, I want you to allow Honorable Chagulanyi to perform his music and strictly to the music. When it comes to politics, he may have the mobs here, but the ballot paper will show that he has nothing. I want to thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mbwa. Mbwa, then Katusave.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Okay, I'll come.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Order.
Right Honorable Speaker, I have a question that goes to the Minister. Is Honorable Chagulanyi a security threat for this country? Because when other artists like Baby Cool, Chameleon, when they are going to perform, the president is even there embracing everything. And they are not sabotaged anywhere. So my concern is Honorable Bobi Wine Sentamu Chagulanyi. Yes, is he a security threat? Of recent, we've been planting freedom trees for those people who never supported the Constitution amendment. But the question is, whenever they hear Bobi Wine is coming, Chagulanyi, they cancel.
Honorable members, there is no one called Honorable Wine. The
Honorable Chagulanyi is coming.
Honorable Sentamu Chagulanyi.
Yes.
That's the MP.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Of recent, I had a consultative meeting for elders. But the DPC called me and said, I heard you have a function. I said, yes, I have. Do you have any external visitors? I said, what do you mean? That is Honorable Chagulanyi coming? I said, what do you mean? He's even a member of parliament if he's to come. In the morning, they sent police all over my place, knowing that Honorable Baby Wine was going to attend, Chagulanyi was going to attend. I'm sorry. But we are talking
for Katusabe, then Vasalirwa, Chagulanyi, Centenary. I know where you are. I don't put you there. I know where you are.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Chapter 1, Article 2 of our Constitution states eloquently and clearly, this Constitution is the supreme law of Uganda and shall have binding force on all authorities and all persons throughout Uganda. Chapter 4, Article 2 of the same Constitution states the rights and freedoms of the individual and groups enshrined in this chapter shall be respected, Mr. Minister, upheld, and promoted by all organs and agencies of government by all persons. Very clear. Madam Speaker, it should pain everybody. It should bother everyone, both here and outside of here, that one of our colleagues, and I'm sure other Ugandans, the police that are supposed to abide by this Constitution, the supreme law of this land, have gone to a point of even stopping our colleague from worshiping her God. We as a country cannot tolerate this. Madam Speaker, take your authority to command and direct government to bring this to a close. Enough is enough, Madam Speaker.
Ono basalirwa Kyagulanyi Centenary. Then I go that side and I'll come back here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I have attentively listened to the statement by the Honourable Alhaji Abubakar Jeje Odong. General. Honourable Speaker, there are two things. One, the police, and indeed government, is using the Public Order Management Act in matters of music. And yet, realistically speaking, when you read the Public Order Management Act, music shows are not part of the shows or activities regulated under the Public Order Management Act. So these aspects of how many people are there, who is coming, those are limited to public meetings. And public meetings are defined under the Public Order Management Act. However, if police wants to regulate such activities, they have the Constitution, they have the Police Act, but don't resort to the Public Order Management Act because the two are completely different. Number two, Right Honourable Speaker, the issue at stake is about economic rights. The right to practice a profession. When you are dealing with economic rights or rights generally, then you must adopt a liberal approach. These guidelines being given, Right Honourable Speaker, by police are, by the way, illegal. Police has no authority to issue guidelines of that nature. When you read the Police Act, it is the minister who is supposed to issue guidelines in that respect, not police. So the minister is ceding his authority to police, which actually is not true. So the minister must rise up to the occasion. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, in
Ona Kyagulanyi. It's not a maiden speech, no. Okay, half a minute to conclude.
Right Honourable Speaker, the challenge we face is that even when the guidelines are fulfilled, police continues to undermine these activities. And they will always say orders from above. I want to request the minister to empower, especially the DPCs and other PCs, to take decisions. I have a function on the 30th in Bujiri, a victory party. I went to notify police, and police were telling me, we will only clear that function if Kyagulanyi is not coming. Okay? But Kyagulanyi was my campaign manager in Bujiri. But they are saying he should not be coming. And they say it is a directive. Right Honourable Speaker, when we met the chairman of the NRM last week, he said that his shows
are being denied because he incites violence. That's what the president was telling me. And I challenged the president. I said, incitement to violence under Section 83 of the Penal Code Act is a crime. So if Kyagulanyi is committing a crime, let him be arrested and prosecuted. The solution is not in stopping his shows, because stopping the shows in that manner borders on violation of the Constitution. And I think we need to be very clear on this. This is about economic rights. Economic rights must be respected, and at no time as Parliament should we allow anybody to engage in acts or manners that actually are empowering young people who are the majority in the music industry. They should stop stifling their income. They should stop undermining their activities, because at the end of it all, they will become redundant and it will be a problem for the country.
Ona Kyagulanyi, then Centenary, then we'll go that side. I've seen you. I'm coming.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I also rise to respond to the statement by the Minister, which I find very dishonest. Because the Minister mentioned that I was not one of the artists who was supposed to perform in Jinja, when indeed I was the main artist with a contract paid to perform there. As if that was not enough, Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, he mentioned the show that I held at One Love Beach, Busabala, which happens to be my venue, but this show only happened after police blocked us from accessing Nambole Stadium without any viable reason. Even when we held this show that turned out to be one of the most peaceful shows, Madam Speaker, I want to inform this House that all the following shows were blocked in the exact place, One Love Beach, Busabala. One Galaxy FM booked to hold a show there on the 9th of December, but they were blocked, and indeed police told them that they needed to get another venue because they would not be cleared when they were working in Kyagulanyi's venue. Madam Speaker, this is not just a matter of me as a member of Parliament, because I am lucky I have a side job at Parliament. The organizers of this event are in the House today, Madam Speaker. These are promoters that organize concerts performed by Bobi Wine and indeed other artists. They organize concerts for other artists in the very venues they organize my concerts, with the very documents that they use for my concerts, they use for other artists' concerts. But other artists are cleared and I am not cleared. Madam Speaker, when I went to the police to face the Inspector General of Police and his deputy to question why I am being persecuted financially, on the 5th of December, I was made to sit in...
Okay. 1 minute since you are the subject. 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when I went to the police headquarters, I was made to sit and wait for 4 hours. Meanwhile, there was a crisis meeting going on. And when the Director for Operations, One Asuman Mujenyi, came back, he presented new guidelines that were dated 5th December this year. And that is the day when I went there. These promoters, because they've invested a lot of money and that is their survival as Ugandans, adhered to the new guidelines. And indeed, they have made everything available as per the new guidelines. But I want to inform you and the Honorable House that the shows have still not been cleared. They are in the House today because they expect justice from this August House. So my prayer, Madam Speaker, is that this Parliament prevails over the errant behavior of the police and delivers justice to these humble Ugandans. I beg to submit.
Centenary.
Thank you, Madam Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to remind the Minister for Internal Affairs that the festive season has come, and this is the season when these promoters actually make money. And if you cannot clear them to carry on with their concerts, you are killing them economically and henceforth creating insecurity, because they will look for other means of surviving other than what they already know and what they have been doing. Secondly, you talked about 9 arson cases at the markets. And you know that it is the duty of the police to protect and serve Ugandans. What have you done as a ministry to ensure that markets are secured where we have millions of vendors who borrow money from microfinance banks, from different sources of borrowing, and you have not even gone ahead to prevent those people who touch those markets, but you are busy wasting time following up Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who is just entertaining people, and you are abdicating your real duty of protecting people's lives and property. Minister, I think this parliament should put you to task to actually remain in your lane and guide your officers to do their duty as they are deemed by the Constitution and clear these promoters, because they are here. They have invested enormous amounts of money, and this is their living. They are earning a living from this. If you are persecuting and witch hunting Bobi Wine as a musician, can you allow other people to?
Ona Wamai Gonzaga, then Ojara Oto, Onyango. I go to Lily. I come to Kivumbi and Wadri.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are all proud to be Ugandans. And Madam Speaker, you have been traveling, leading delegations to attend international conferences. And so is the Prime Minister was at the UN. Madam Speaker, we get embarrassed at times. And we are ashamed by what the police is doing to our people in this country. Uganda is supposed to be a democratic country. Freedom of expression, freedom of association. And when the minister comes here and makes a statement, a very embarrassing statement, I think the minister also feels sad to come and read such a statement. I sympathize with you on the front bench. Surely, a man who is going to church, who is going to pray to God, to thank God for bringing him to Parliament, and you tear gas the people of Uganda. Surely, Mr. Prime Minister, aren't you really embarrassed by some of these acts? I get embarrassed because I travel to international conferences, and these people ask you that we thought Uganda is a democratic country, and we thought Uganda was a wonderful country. Why do you harass somebody who is entertaining people? Surely the human rights that you are violating of Ugandans, it ashames Uganda in the international community. Mr. Prime Minister, our ambassadors and the colleagues serving in the foreign service, they're embarrassed. They don't have answers when they see our...
Ona Gonzaga? Yeah. Gonzaga, Ojara, Oto, Gideon, Lily, Kivumbi, Wadri, then I take the last three.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Madam Speaker, as a professional teacher, music is a subject. And Madam Speaker, in our Committee of Education, we are struggling hard to see how we can create career guidance in our children. It's quite unfortunate that government spends money on training children in music, and among those who have learned music is Bobi Wine. No, His Excellency Kyagulanyi, who's Honorable Kyagulanyi. Then when he starts practicing his profession, he's arrested. Madam Speaker, recently, I saw the Honorable Minister himself. We were at a certain party with him, and he danced to the tune of Honorable Kyagulanyi's music. Now, if you are enjoying someone using music, where do you get the courtesy to stop him from making other people enjoy the same music you have been dancing to at that particular time? Madam Speaker, I've just heard it even from Honorable Kyagulanyi. The owner of Galaxy is my friend. He was given permission, given clearance.
On a point of order by Minister of Internal Affairs.
Madam Speaker, the member holding the floor said I was with him in a party where Honorable Kyagulanyi's music was playing and I was enjoying. I have never attended one party with the Honorable Chungu, and I rarely attend parties. You see, therefore, in order to allege that I was in a party with him and I was enjoying music.
Honorable Gonzaga, where were you with the Minister of Internal Affairs?
You know, you normally give us parties here. And at one time I was with him, dancing with him at the party here, at Parliament. And you know, I'm always at there. And one time I danced with him after the State of National Address with him. If he wants to deny I'm a Catholic, he's a Muslim, you will get the footage. But I've danced with him. Even today we are going to dance together outside there. But to be serious, Madam Speaker, if somebody has a property, you are stopping him from performing. Even those who want to hire his premises, you are stopping them. That means you are denying him the right of getting an income. That's quite unfair. And Madam Speaker, let me put this on record. I am a member of the Appointments Committee. You know what we talked to the Deputy.
Honorable Ojara, then Mahmoud, Gideon, Lily.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the issues in this House is actually very important because it touches the issue of insecurity and security of our country. The Minister presented his report in twofold. Part of the report was talking about the issue of gun violence. And then the second one is on the economic right. I want to comment on the issue of gun violence in this country, which this Parliament has been discussing time and again. And we have had promises by the Minister that the issue of gun violence would actually be addressed squarely. I want to inquire from the Minister, do we really have a gun violence policy in this country? Because if it is not there, then how are we going to be able to address the issue of gun violence? I even wonder whether we know the number of guns that is existing in this country, whether illegal or legally. So I would want to implore the Minister that can we really have a gun violence policy? If we can have that, we should be able, therefore, to address the issue of gun violence squarely in this country. But if not, then we are going to continue discussing the thing, Madam Speaker. Just 1 minute. And then secondly, the issue of economic rights. You have been indicating that you issue guidelines. Even the Public Management Act, the Public Management Order Act, I don't think we have a policy for that. So,
Honorable Mahmoud, then Gideon Onyango.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker, for this.
Kivumbi, Wadri, then Wokoto, East.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. The Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for this report. The Right Honorable Speaker, the issue that I want to bring to the attention of the Minister is the issue of cattle theft that is becoming rampant. It is paralyzing the local government in the Gago. The disarmament of some of our brothers in Karamoja took place, but the phase of insecurity has now changed into cattle theft, which I think is in the docket to the Minister. We have talked about this here, and every year we talk about this. As of yesterday, I got a call from Adilang sub-county where about 12 heads of cattle had been stolen. And we have lost people in the process of this cattle theft. We have lost people who have gone to follow up on the stolen animals. It is a very big problem which is affecting the lives of these people because these animals are used for farming. Animals is a source of livelihood for many of these people. I think this needs to be addressed, and I think it is a serious security matter that the Minister should pay attention to. And our prayer is that this could be solved by easily bringing in more, the anti-stock Catholic theft unit
is there, but they are not there in large numbers. We need more UPDF forces deployed in the area. So I think if this is done, it will curve down on the rampant cattle theft, which has been a problem year after year. And animals really is our source of livelihood down there. So I thought I should add this to the issue that is being raised today. Other than that, the Right Honourable Speaker, I think this question of which is being addressed today needs to be done we need to pay deep attention to this issue. Members of Parliament who are practicing other trades, whether it is law or...
Honourable Gideon, then Lily Adong.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to add my voice on the current stake. Right Honourable Speaker, in this country, we are aware we have a very, very big problem of unemployment. Very many youths are languishing on the streets, in the villages. There is no adequate employment in this country. Many of our brothers and sisters are trying to survive through this music industry. It is quite sad that people whom they would look at as inspirational leaders undertaking the same profession that they would desire to undertake are being mistreated. It's really sad, Right Honourable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would like to add my voice to this, that the Minister of Internal Affairs should, I think, rise up and match the task that is before them. I don't think it is adequate enough, Madam Speaker, for the Minister to simply follow what police has already issued. The Minister should really stand up and be a minister. Police issued this statement, and now the Minister is simply reaffirming. It would be coming from the Minister.
Lily Adong.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues. Madam Speaker, the issue of economic rights and gun violence in this country is giving people sleepless nights. Madam Speaker, Honourable Kyagulanyi is just representing many Ugandans who are suffering down there. The moment they don't want you with money, however much you try to fulfill all the conditions, they will not allow you to do business in this country. We really need to think from a different angle what is happening in this country. Madam Speaker, I speak with a lot of heavy heart. Even up to now, I don't know what to answer a youth in my constituency who is struggling to put up a disco hall at their level. This is a boy who has been running. It's like the whole sub-county, he's the only one running that business. So they keep, each time he's putting a disco, they keep on getting small monies from him. So he decided to follow all the procedures to secure licenses. But the police stopped him, the office of the RDC stopped him, all the leadership. He called me and said, now, Honorable, what should we do? There's no job. I have a diploma, but I can't get a job. I'm creating my own job. Do they want us to commit crime? Do they want Ugandans to commit crimes? Madam Speaker, the security forces are pushing Ugandans too far. You are taking Ugandans for a ride. Please, follow the law. If the laws are not working, tell us and we find out what to do. Because you put the law, we put these laws, you don't want to follow it. However much you try to put efforts, Madam Speaker, it seems there's some silent wars.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I proceed, I would like to expunge a document that has been laid by the Minister. Among the documents, one of them, right, Honorable Speaker. Before I make my submission, I like to apply Rule 223 and expunge from the parliamentary record a document that has been laid by the Minister, purported to be a record of one of the promoters. This, Honorable Speaker, I don't know, cannot fit a standard of a minister and a document worthy laying before this parliament. It's handwritten to begin with, no heading of this document. Literally, when you look at it, Right Honorable Speaker, I don't think it meets the minimum standard of any document worthy coming from a general, a minister of internal affairs. So before I make my submission, I like the Honorable Speaker, through Rule 220, to apply that this document be expunged.
Now, Honourable Members, you said the document was in the minister's pocket, and you asked him to present it. It was in his pocket. Yes. Yes.
Right, so, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Minister referred to this document, and he majestically laid it before Parliament. If he said it wasn't authentic,
you are the ones who demanded that he lays it.
So that now
he had put it in his pocket, and you demanded.
Yes, but Right Honorable.
Just proceed with your argument. Proceed with the presentation.
Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, my submission is very simple. The fundamental law we follow is the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. The rights are supposed to be upheld, promoted, and protected by all persons and agencies. Even limitations that can be prescribed should not constitute political persecution. Even standing here to limit the argument that Honorable Kyagulanyi cannot go to a music show and at a political statement can be in a way interpreted as an affront to our constitutional right. Right Honorable Speaker, the people of South Africa at the height of apartheid were left with no option. They resorted to music to deliver political grievances. Everywhere there has been political issues, music has been one of the venues. It's a way of communication in a way. Much as it is entertainment, much as it is economic rights, let not a parliament of the Republic of Uganda limit the scope of rights, including the scope of what can constitute to be a struggle. There is a struggle in this country underway, and the young people in this country have embraced this struggle. Right Honorable Speaker, government of Uganda in the last campaign used the music. They hired a whole a whole group of musicians under Tubonga Nawe, and they were singing for the president. They were curtain raising for the president. They want another rap. Was one of the songs the president used to rally support. This was a political campaign. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to appeal to this parliament that political persecution is prohibited in this court.
Honorable Wadri, then we go to Florence.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Then I come to side briefly.
Right Honorable Speaker, in an attempt to encourage the youth of this country to mobilize the resources, President Museveni is on record for the program commonly known as Okulembeka, which in Luganda means to tap resources. And therefore, every one of us here in this parliament is getting a way of tapping resources. And therefore, if the Honorable Kyagulanyi is gifted by that way of attracting resources for his own personal development and usage in his constituency, I think that is an idea that should not be stifled. Right Honorable Speaker, in 2010, when I was the opposition chief whip, I had an opportunity to visit the Parliament of Malawi. And in the evening, as we were about to depart for Entebbe, we were entertained by the Minister for Youth, who had his own music band. And he was contracted by Parliament to come on the stage and entertain guests. And I will wish that talents that exist among us should be promoted and that we make use of our own rather than even bringing people from other dancing troupes to come to entertain us like we are going to have this evening. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I look at a situation where this purposeful attempt to stifle the economic rights of Honorable Chagulanyi is not new. The police are not rewriting the history for the first time. In the past, many members of the
Honorable Mayanja, then the leader of opposition. She's sitting on
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I will start by asking the Minister. Honorable Minister, Honorable Chagulanyi, and indeed many others who entertain us, because I'm a lover of music. I enjoy myself. When I listen to music, I dance. And that is the way I fight stress. I want to ask you, aware that Honorable Chagulanyi and many others are losing from the concerts they prepare. They are losing income, they are tortured psychologically. I want to find out from you, how are these people going to be compensated? Because as you are aware, they use a lot of money to prepare for these concerts. Now, when you stop them to proceed, that is a loss. Madam Speaker, about 2 months ago, I organized a meeting in Masaka, the DPUID reunion, and the question was, the police was asking me, have you invited Chagulanyi? It took me a lot of time to explain that, of course, he was one of the people who were invited. Every Ugandan would want to know, why Chagulanyi? What is behind Chagulanyi? What threat has Chagulanyi brought to this country? Madam Speaker, if this is not explained, a lot of questions are going.
Honorable Leader of Opposition, then Abara Oketayot, then I come this side.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the focus is Honorable Chagulanyi, but I think government of Uganda, or all of us as Ugandans, must be mindful about our own people. When we move, we are always with our heads up that the Pearl of Africa. We must love Uganda and we must love our people. And we must promote also the initiative of our people. Where if it was somebody coming from outside Uganda, everybody would be very happy. But because it is an initiative from inside and because that person is a politician, you just want to stifle everything. This is not fair. When we say about patriotism, this is one thing that we should promote. What is the fear about? Why are you so fearful? Freedom is a fundamental right, and people struggle to have money in their pockets. Instead, you want to just go and cut it off. This is unfortunate. Just last week when I was in Gulu, I wanted to meet my leaders, the political leaders in Aswa County. There was a lot of commotion. That did she obtain permission from the DPC? Must I obtain permission from DPC to meet just leaders? not even with the mic, is it public address system, just going to meet them maybe under a tree or a whole meeting. Must I really look around and write for permission? Please, Honorable Minister, we really need freedom.
Okay, half a minute for the leader to conclude.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Freedom, dignity, and stability. Please, one thing, we know that you must always help to also take care of security. But we already have that law. And that law is to inform you that I am there, go and take care of my security. Not just to stop my what? My rally, if it is a rally. You have even seen in the newspaper that you have banned rallies for FDC in Ankole sub-region. You cannot even feel ashamed. I was questioned by one politician that, you know, politics is difficult in every other country. But US in Uganda seem to be worst, because even we are not ashamed of having the militaries here, and always the militaries, the police, have to really block us everywhere, blocking our freedom. Give Honorable Kyagulanyi freedom to do his work. Even if you fear him like what? Give him the freedom to do his work. You are now even selling him. Everybody is mad about him because you have sold him. So Ugandans, you are listening to us. These ministers, if they don't know their work, we will push them to know their work. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. But they must know that freedom, dignity, and stability is most important.
I'm now on this side.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank the Minister for the report. If he had not brought this report, we would not have got to know the position of government. Allow me to mention about three things. Number one, Madam Speaker, even the Bible recognizes the relevance of music. Even the Bible. Psalms chapter 95, verse 1. It says, "Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let's shout aloud to the rock of our salvation." That's the Bible. That's the Bible. Even King David danced. It was a king dancing. Madam Speaker, I'm David. Madam Speaker, music plays three major roles. One, it is basically to praise God. That's one. Number two, for victory. Number three, even mourning. People even sing when they are mourning, the dear ones. Madam Speaker, my view in this case is that it is unfair, it is not proper for us to stifle the principle of democracy that we have fought for in this country. And my view, Madam Speaker, this friend of mine is asking for information. I can't give you.
Madam Speaker, this is my good neighbor. He comes from where I come from, Ukumi. Madam Speaker, the information I want to give to my colleague is this. Right in the Bible that you are quoting, there once lived a king who invited people for a party. A certain girl came and danced to a very good music tune. And the king was so excited, and he asked, "What do you want? And I shall give it to you." The girl asked for the head of somebody. And it was offered. That is how important music can be. Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. Number two, that means I'm now wondering a country or a community without music. I'm just wondering. If we stop this music in Uganda, I'm sure this country will be in total chaos. My view, Madam Speaker, is that let us handle this matter with a lot of intelligence. Let's handle this matter with a lot of concern, because there are so many youth in this country who are practicing and surviving on music. There are so many DJs in this country. All of us who are here, at least at one point, you hire a DJ to come and dance when you're campaigning. Now, Madam Speaker, when we stop like this...
Ona Bitangaro, then Oketayot. Honor Vitangaro, honor members, when those music concerts take place, there are people who are selling water, people who are selling meat, people who are selling chicken. Those small people earn from that facility. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to thank the Minister for the statement, whether I agree with it or not, but I'll thank you. Madam Speaker, I would like to address myself to mainly one aspect of the statement of the Minister. The Constitution guarantees freedom of expression and freedom of association. The Constitution, under Article 21, guarantees equality and freedom from discrimination, meaning the law, that the law must apply to all Ugandans equally. No one should be discriminated or treated differently. Now, if you treat Chameleon in one way, you should also treat Bobi Wine the same way. I do not see why one of them must be treated differently from the others. It's definitely wrong. And Honourable Minister, is something should definitely address. I've heard you say that under the Public Order and Management Act, there are guidelines which you have set. But these guidelines must refer to everyone, not one and leave out the other.
Oketayot, then Kafero, Angura, then, yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the issue of rights, constitutional and legal provisions have already come out very, very clearly and very, very strongly from many members. I want to find out one thing from the Minister of Internal Affairs, as far as the issue of blocking the performances of Honorable Kyagulanyi is concerned. Honorable Minister, I know the police has intelligence department, intelligence officers. Even the other security forces have intelligence officers. Honorable Minister, I want to find out whether these intelligence officers have ever bothered to get down on the ground and find out the opinion, the feelings of the public on